I just want to switch gears and talk about China for a minute. So it's come out that our intelligence reports show that China has been actively falsifying its coronavirus cases and death numbers during the outbreak. There may have been tens of thousands of more deaths than they've even reported. And now we're learning that they're censoring research on the origin of the virus. How should we hold China accountable for these cover-ups? I know Senator Hawley has suggested that we actually make them pay for some of the deaths that have happened in this country. I'm curious at China's culpability in this and their reaction. How do you think we can hold them accountable?
Well, that's a really good question. So what do we know? This is an animal-to-human transmission. It came from a bat. We don't know if somebody got infected doing research in the lab, or they went to one of these wet markets in China and actually bought a bat and ate it. But the one thing we can do is to put pressure on China to close these wet markets. They sell puppies for human consumption in these markets. People eat bats and monkeys, and that's how this is the third pandemic to come from China. So number one, put all the pressure in the world on China to close these wet markets. They have about $1.3 trillion of Treasury notes. Senator Blackburn has a bill to basically cancel some of the debt we owe China, send them a bill for this. We need to stop trading with China until they change their practices around controlling pandemics and get their act together with wet markets. There are a lot of things we need to do to deter them. If we're not tough on China now, there'll be another one coming later. So whatever gets them to change their behavior, and it just can't be, Megan, the United States, it's got to be the world. And unless the world takes on China, it won't work.
Okay, so we're blaming China. That's legitimate. But Trump also was blaming the World Health Organization. He said that they should not receive money from the United States under its current leadership. And even if I don't understand something, why cut off a health organization in the middle of a pandemic? Why not wait until it's over and then deal with WHO?
No, that's really a good question. I'm in charge of the appropriations over the WHO, at least a part of it. And what I want is see a change of leadership, because I think they conspired with China to downplay the nature of the virus, that they reported all through January. There was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. I've lost confidence. The money that's being suspended will go to other people throughout the world to deal with health issues. The WHO has great scientists, but it's lost confidence. I've lost confidence in the leadership. So a guy like Bill Gates, if Bill Gates was in charge of the WHO, I would double the funding, because I think we need a WHO, but he's not.
No. Well, okay. All right. I still say why now, but let me ask you about the stimulus checks, because there have been mistakes made from the website crashing to checks going to dead people, but yet the Treasury made sure to have Trump's name on the check, and he insisted upon it, you know, having it there. His ego is out of control, and that totally breaks protocol. Now, Trump was asked yesterday why his name was on the check, and he said he didn't know much about it. Do you know why his name is on the check, sir?
No, not really. I know that during the 787 we spent during the Obama years, they had signs advertising "This brought to you by the, by the Obama administration." I just want the checks to get there. I don't really care whose name's on it. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. But the point is that these checks are coming out pretty quickly now, $1,200. If you're listening to this program, you make under $75,000, you're going to get a $1,200 check, whether you're on Social Security or not. It doesn't count towards your tax liability, and it's in the mail starting tomorrow, I think, and in your direct deposit pretty soon now, and people need the money. People are hurting out there. I get that. And to our doctors and nurses, can I just add one thing to what Megan asked? Have we overreacted? I don't think so. I don't think the models were wrong. I think what we did has changed the models. And can you imagine if we had not done all the things we've done today, what our hospitals would look like all over the country? Every time you do what you're asked to do, you're taking a load off doctors and nurses. Just remember that you're helping them by practicing social distancing.
This is true. I wish we had started in, November when they say everybody had the information, but we're doing what we can do now. And right now, the country has hit 22 million unemployed people. And is this right? You worried that these relief packages will encourage people to stay out of the workforce? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. If people are trying to feed their families, why?
Good question.
People are. I think that's.
Good question.
I think it's not correct, but I'll let you answer it. Can you explain what you meant?
So here's what bothers me the most in terms outside the virus is that we have 22 million people out of work at no fault of their own, and I don't see us turning the economy on anywhere near full for a long time yet. I think the summer is going to be reduced travel. Myrtle Beach is going to be a lost summer in terms of tourism. What we did, and I was the first Republican to join with Democrats to add more money into state unemployment. The maximum benefit, Whoopi, you can get in South Carolina for unemployment is $326 a week. We've added $600, a federal benefit on top of the state benefit, and I want to make people whole. I want you to get your actual salary if you're unemployed, but in this case, we've actually sometimes doubled people's salary in unemployment, and I think that will have a perverse incentive of keeping people out of the workforce. But my number one goal is to get you the check. What I worry about the most, it may be 4 to 6 weeks before anybody gets an unemployment check. The system has crashed, and we need to pay more attention to unemployment because people can't go 4 to 6 weeks without a check.
Okay, so you are happy that people are getting what they need in order to live the lives that they began before the pandemic.
They're not getting it. They're not getting it.
No, but it's come. The check is in the mail, right?